xiong nó là chỉ nô nó giờ inu chỉnh chỉnh nhau cho được bê chỉnh này mong lưu ăn ký hay ta giờ xiong bê lưu define bê mong lưu này bê lưu future bao cho trong tổn đề nó nô nó giờ ta thời ra của bù bê cho tu cho ký bê cho mình tu mình nhỏ cho cái bộ tàu cổng operate nhau cho bê lưu ban trái bê cho nó giờ to cho tu xài lộ hai bê cho mình nhỏ giàu sư họ nó ô cho cú trong xa trong plờ mình ăn ký hay ta we have a bright future bê trên này mong bê luôn này yang bê xua chẳng tu gì để tàn xin nó luôn nuôi gì rồi bê trên này mong nó họ nó ô cho cú trong xa hình ô cho cú xa chua xa hình bê xua lời bộ tế sẽ giờ we have a future and our future is bright and I am so proud that today is the beginning of a new chapter for our people for the next 40 years. No no giờ inu chỉnh chỉnh giờ inu chư sinh nhỏ cho đời bê hai này mong ý chồng cầu ở lưu đi gì cho lưu sư bê hai mong lưu bàn trai bê cho cứ bù ổ chê giờ ổ cha nhỏ rồi chồng cha rồi bê ý chồng nạ gì cái tên này chàng giờ cứ tôi thông lời khó số khó chờ tôi cùng bê hai mong lưu bàn trai bê cho nhỏ rồi luôn trong Fresno same California hai bê cho cái tên này chàng mong nhỏ thông lời số lưu tế chờ cái tan tỏ sai bê nhỏ cho hồ mong TV là chỉ nhỏ cho hồi internet bê công hữu trái bê cho mong culture dòng sai tỏ giải bê y trọng mong xuất lời số linh số tu dĩ nó bê dòng sai tỏ giải y trọng nọ chứ tổ thơ số lưu công hữu nhỏ rồi bê hai này mong tôi cùng tôi chơi ngàn bê hai mong lúc bàn trái bê cho lúc bàn trái bê cho nó giờ lúc sơ chế international rồi rồi bê hai mong nhau thông plơ số lúc tê chờ bê sĩ thân buồn ý gì hả ta giờ chỉ tao lúc cho mong sao trởตัวnó nó cú yếu hả ta giờ chỉ tao tôi cùng bê trồng mong first lúc bàn trái bê cho sao trận tổ ha lúc bàn trái bê cho nó giờ lu cứ mua công mua bề rong lu ha lọ dễ chăng plug lộn lại số lu hủ tô gì clown đó bê rong xa tỏ dài bê cho nó chứ elected government officials tôi cùng bê hai mong lúc bàn trái bê cho tôi hà lù nha lù cu lù rong sai công mong rồi bê hai này mong nhau rồi lù xiong cha ở旁cầu châu này nó tôi thì in đời nó giờ bê tu Fresno Mayor Lee Brand giờ bê cho nên bộ tề này bê từ chào mừng Lee Brand giờ đầu giờ bê từ Fresno County Sheriff Margaret Mans to Tipe, your pay Fresno City Council District 5, your pay E to Pong Yu Zhong Champler, your Luis Chavez. Zinda, your pay Fresno Unified School District to Superintendent Bob Nelson. To teach you to how to pay your Jersey, to Lishong China no. Your pay to Honorable Judge Christy Young. Diễn đại bê công hữu trái bê cho rong xa tỏ dài ý trọng tu lăng tu lụa sau lệnh xua tu tổ bang hát sơn ngàn bê công hữu trái bê cho xiong tăng lưu nó xiong nó hai bê chồng gì tỏn đây nó thọ của lu thọ của xiong nó mấy tô khứ ô lăng ô lụa sáng nu nhau cho hồ lu pan trái bê cho của lăng lụa mông rong khứ của tàu nha cả mấy cậu o lu lì ô chơi của tàu tàu ôn tàu của dì muôn tàu xí chi tàng cho mông pu hà bang cho bê chạy này mông bê công hủ trái bê chiều rong xa tỏ dài ý chồng tuôn thay lùa cho nà cho gì tô cổng tô chơi ngàm chú kế lọ rễ sĩ từ nhau cho lúc bàn trái bê chiều thọ của mê xua từ mô mông hà mua kế lọ rễ cho lúc xong nó bê lúc bàn trái bê chiều nó giờ bê sụt lời lưu giờ bê sụt lời tình tù chỉ giờ y tù lưu chỉ giờ y tù lệ ta chỉ giờ bê sụt lời lưu giờ bê hai mông lệ giờ hai mông tình tù bê công hủ trái bê giờ mông culture cho giờ lụt là lùm bang lụt bang trái bê giờ cho bê trộn mông sụt lời tổ cổng yang tòn tên nó mong有một lô lử bang lử lưu công hủ有lử cho lử tua ôn đồ rùn gì mong chỉ nhờ bê chút là tô chân ngang mô lử lử rong lử nạ chư gì rong tô bán thơ bán ổ có rong gì mong tô bê chạy này mong có bê hai tô này mong là chỉ ô tô lử hai tô này mong lử hai tô này bù hai chờ bê hai mong lưu bàn trái bê chào nô nô cố rong xa tô cổng bê hải mông lưu bàn trái bê chào rong xa tô bù tôn chi bê chào nà cho gì cho mi nhùa cho bù cho dở cho nọ cho chữ suốt lần số lệnh số tù cung trình tham bảo số ta mỗi y nu tỏn đề nó bê hải mông yêu mua bê vàng bê chế bê lại ăn ít khó chờ rồi bê lùn nọ bê hải mông lùn bàn trái bê chờ khó nô giờ cú chú kế trình kế chờ hay giờ cú từng bao xua rồi bê hải này mông dĩ nó thọ ô chờ nào rồi bê công hủ trái bê chờ Hmong Culture New Year celebration cho board of directors cho department chairs cho coordinators staff hai biết cho mình nhiều mong cần đào nhau cho high school rồi cho cứ nhau cho college rồi biết cho nè cho gì cứ bang biết là lên nụ bang lúc bạn trai biết cho tao giải biết trộn mong suốt lần tua cổng riêng tao thọ ô cho rồi biết so bang group cái tổ cổng ô lúc operation nó mấy chút lời ô tàu rong cần cao bù cho bê trồng mông chút lời tàu bù tàu sai ô mấy chút lời trâu đào thảo cơ nó thọ hạ cho bê hai này mông nhau thông bờ quan đủ chỉ là nhau cho lúc tây chạy từ lúc sinh từ lúc rong từ hạ lúc rõ từ có bê dùng rong hoặc tại bê giờ mông bê yêu chủ tàu lù xí lưu xí cổng xí thang hạ xí bang lệ cử tì nạ gì ít lăng dù bê yêu chủ khởi bê mông chủ trì khởi hạ hạt bê mông cho lù lòng đờ bê yêu chủ tàu hạ bê mông chủ trì hạ cho lù mông rồi bê cho mì tu mì nhỏ y tạ rồi y tạ y sinh rồi y sinh ở con đời nó giờ ở con cứ chỉnh chỉnh trong bờ nhau cho đời bê hai này mông bê hai này mông sao lại chỉ blue hồn đồ cam lang nó mông bê hai này mông hà luôn bê mông sao lại dùng một nhau mông y cha y gì chỉ tăng chỉ cờ có bê hai này mông lưu này chỗ mua cái vàng mình cha nọ cha chữ cha vàng cha phương cha tu sơn thành trề lù chở lù lu lù cho bé hai này mong một tổ lu nành cha lu nành vàng mình tổ yang tỏ đề thọ luôn đút lại ang vang chữ giờ sau phố tài đủ cho công cho mong lụt cho pe hai nề mong chạm pe hai nề mong sợ cha hai thọ luôn đút lại ang sai tê bộ trời pe hai nề mong chỉ bu kế bộ kế dòng kế phê kế chi dòng kế dùng chai dùng thề kế plua kế giỏ nhẹ kế cho kế chùa cô một a cô một là lụt trò cho pe hai nề mong lưu dùng cha ở旁của châu nọ lấy cha của pe chùa tu tàu hào thằng cha của pe chùa tu tàu nọคือ nhà của tàu chủ bộ phang คือ bộ phang của tàu chủ lăng pe mong cho lăng lụa của lụt lưu vàng mình y bộ phang bầu dù mi nhỏ mong của trong phổ vàng để cho mong su dê nhỏ trong đằng đụt lệ hạ gì cho nà cho gì cứ mò ghình của tê mò ghình là yang hạ xả mong cho lò của trò lô tua cho lùa của lụt lưu chả bê mong nả mong gì bê mong nọ mong chữ si lưu ở y bang y bờ ở y hải cô lưu ha mò chùa bê hai nề mong cho nà cho gì cho nọ cho chữ cho bu cho giở hai cho mình nhổ sụt lần số lên số tu thọ văn chữ giờ sau phòng công phòng mong bu cho bê sụt lần cho lưu xong cha ở旁cổ châu nọ ở trong đầu.
Let me first thank Mitch Hare and his board of directors for a terrific job in organizing this event. And for example, since last year we had 2 events, having just 1 event is a major accomplishment. So I want to give a big hand to Mitch Hare and the board of directors. It was 2 years ago that I was elected mayor, and I received this vest I proudly wear today on a night I came here and almost got lost in the parking lot. But over the last 2 years, I've learned a lot about the Hmong people, the Hmong culture. I've attended numerous events. I've spoken to funerals. I've went to just about everything I can think of, and I've met a lot of friends along the way and learned a new appreciation of the Hmong culture. And the Hmongs, just like everybody else in the United States, are a nation of immigrants, and they had a long, long journey, a very perilous journey from the killing fields of Southeast Asia through the refugee camps in Thailand and eventually coming to America. I understand now there's some talk about the immigration status of the Hmong refugees. So make it clear that I support the Hmong people and the Hmong refugees, and will do whatever I can to protect that status. Thank you. That's a big one too. My time as mayor, I'm trying to find a way to promote Hmong people and their culture. A lot of my boards and commissions, I put Hmong people on them. And it's time that my good friend Blong Zhang is an elected official, we find more ways to get more Hmongs elected to public office, whether it be school board, city councils, and other elected events, so you could continue your success. And as Mitch said, we're looking now at the next generation of Hmongs and where we need to go to assimilate into our culture. And that's part of the problem too, is in any group coming to America, is assimilation. It's cultural, it's language. For example, there's a big difference between American time and Hmong time, and I'm learning that one myself. And in 2 years as mayor, I passed some significant legislation, including the Rental Inspection Act that had taken 20 years, never was passed. I was able to get together the advocates and the apartment association, and this is really important. A lot of Southeast Asians live in substandard housing, and my job is to improve all our standards of housing and to identify slumlords and make sure we can improve those conditions. I put together a Citizens Public Safety Advisory Board to better connect the community to our police department and put a bridge of trust with our police department and our community. And again, I've named Hmong Americans on that board. At this point in time, the city of Fresno is probably the strongest financial condition it's ever been in. We've got a A+ credit rating, a $34 million reserve, fully funded pension system, and our unemployment rate in Fresno is at 5.1%, the lowest it's ever been in the city of Fresno, and we've created 5,000 jobs. My goal is to make sure that prosperity is transferred across the entire community to make sure everybody in Fresno can realize the prosperity. So my job is to create opportunities in education and employment to make sure this city transforms, this city changes the narrative of poverty that it's for so long has written the story on Fresno, California. So again, it's always an honor for me to be here. It's an honor to support and love the Hmong people. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Welcome to all of you who are from out of town. I was lucky enough to sit by one of your representatives from Minnesota. Welcome to Fresno County to all of you that have traveled so far to join in this New Year's celebration. I think about your theme for this year, preserving the past, building on the future. And what does that mean? It means you preserve the past. By on occasions like this, you wear your beautiful cultural clothing. You dance your cultural dances. You eat your delicious cultural foods. And you remember and preserve the past in that way. How do you build on the future? You take advantage of the opportunities that open before you. Opportunities like coming to work for the sheriff's office. Yes, I'm recruiting. I want you to be part of our sheriff's office. I need you. We're hiring. We need deputy sheriffs and correctional officers and dispatchers and community service officers. And if you want to give back and serve your community, please give us a call because we want you. You know, when it comes to law enforcement in all of our communities, it's very important to understand that we don't do our jobs alone. We don't do our jobs all by ourselves. We are only successful with your help. We are only successful with your involvement. And don't we all want the same thing? We all want to be prosperous. We all want to be blessed. And we all want to be safe. And that's what we need your help with. I want to thank you for including me every year in this celebration. It is such an honor to sit among you, to talk to you, to meet you, and hear you say, here's my sheriff, our sheriff, because that means we are working together and you are involved. Thank you all, and Happy New Year.
Good afternoon. Najong. And Happy New Year. I want to welcome everybody to Southeast Fresno, this place that's very special to many of us. Thank you. Thank you. I want to also mention a couple of things that the Sheriff, and thank you, Sheriff, for coming to our events. We love you in Southeast. She said we should, using the slogan, preserving the past, building the future. That is exactly what we are doing in Fresno, what we are doing in Southeast Fresno. And it's very telling today that we are joined by the mayor, city officials, county officials, and then also our Fresno Unified School District officials that are sitting here. Some of you know that I served as a school board member for Fresno Unified for 4 years and represented this area. And we're doing a lot of great things in our community. And along that work that's being done, the Hmong community has been a crucial partner for what we're trying to build in this part of the city. We know that we have the only school in the United States that's named after a Hmong leader, General Vang Pao, right here down the street. And that's something that we're very proud of. But I wanted to hone in on something that I experienced when I walked in this morning, and I've been here since about 10:30 a.m. And I saw a lot of young people, a lot of new community leaders that are stepping up in our community and making sure that their voices are heard, that they're at the decision-making table. And I want to thank Mitch, her, and your board for the work you're doing. Beautiful, beautiful event that you put on today. And when I walked in, you can feel that energy of the folks that are here celebrating our Hmong culture, our tradition, our foods. But it's much more than that, because we are building that next building block for our community, for our children. You see all the children here in our community, and they are very proud of their culture. And that wasn't the case many years ago for the Hmong community. And so I want to thank you for keeping that tradition going here in our community. There are a lot of great things happening, but we know we're going to need your help. We're going to need your help this upcoming year. 2019 is going to be an amazing year for our community, for the Hmong community, for the city of Fresno. That is the vision of Fresno that we have. We talk about the American dream. I like to focus it a little bit more on the Fresno dream. As we're building older neighborhoods, we're turning old schools, old jails into new schools. That is really the work that encompasses our communities. And so I have something a little special that I want to present to Mitch. If you could please come up and join me. We have an official City of Fresno proclamation. If we could have your board join us too. I'll start reading it as he makes his way up, but this is something very special that was signed by the mayor and the entire city council of the city of Fresno. It is with great pleasure that we join in honoring Hmong Cultural New Year celebration as host of the largest Hmong New Year celebration right here in the city of Fresno. As the new year approaches, it is a good time to reflect and give thanks for all your hard work, dedication, and resources that you have provided to our community. Hmong New Year is a wonderful event to come together each year to celebrate the many contributions of the Hmong community in our city. This event serves to strengthen our community by promoting educational advancement, the community development, and community engagement, and cultural enlightenment. Your commitment is invaluable and inspiring to all of us, and the city gratefully acknowledges your many accomplishments. So on behalf of the city of Fresno, we, Mayor Lee Brand, and the Fresno City Council do hereby proclaim Wednesday, December 26, 2018 to be Hmong Cultural New Year Celebration Day in the city of Fresno. And Happy New Year.
Natong Zuchia, Zongxie Sai Do Nisheder. I just want to say thank you. It feels like coming home to family. Mitch and I used to work together. President Mitch Her and I used to work together in Fresno Unified for many years. I'm so thankful to be dressed in the way that I am today, because my dear friend Misty Her and my friend Katie Russell, who are out there, we all became principals at the same time. And it's wonderful to celebrate with a culture who is inspired by education, who knows that teaching and learning and the kids are the future. I'm excited. We are looking back to the past and embracing the future. And it's an honor to be here with you for the Hmong Cultural New Year celebration. Thank you too to my good friend Misty Her. Missy's mom, Neng, dressed me today, said I could be adopted into the Her clan for today. So I'm very thankful that I'm Test one, there we go. At any rate, thank you, Neng, for this beautiful vestment. We love the Hmong Cultural New Year celebration. This organization provides scholarships to many of our students. And we are one of the largest employers of Hmong people in the Valley. If you don't want to come work for the sheriff, come work for me. We know that education is the key. We thank our Cultural New Year celebration, who does provide scholarship. They fundraise. The individuals that lead this organization provide backpacks and school supplies for kids across the Central Valley. So thank you for paying it forward for our kids. Hmong Cultural New Year works hard to preserve the past through an understanding and embracing of the Hmong culture. And we are the bridge from the Hmong community to the greater culture. We're very thankful. My friend Dua Vu was sitting next to me. She writes curriculum in Hmong. Fresno Unified is one of the only school districts that has a Hmong dual immersion program to keep Hmong literacy alive. Because it's one thing to come and join our cultural. This one too. We do not want Hmong children to lose their academic and cultural. Test 1, 2. We want to make sure Hmong literacy stays alive in the hearts of our kids, and that we preserve, because this generation leading this event, you are the bridge. You are the people that still speak Hmong, read, write Hmong well, and you're also fluent, literate in English. It's your opportunity to pass that on to the next generation in culture. And we in the school district stand ready to be your partner in that work. Fresno Unified is invested. We support and we value diversity. That's the best part of living in Fresno, is the diversity that's here. And the beautiful Hmong people, such an integral part of our cultural foundation. If you go to Vang Pao Elementary, I'd invite you there to come see our dual immersion program in Hmong. Parents, you aren't our parents yet? Come join us. Come allow your kids to learn Hmong alongside of our. You need to meet Brianna, little African-American girl who speaks fluent Hmong. It's awesome. Come talk to them. We have high school heritage speaker courses in all of our comprehensive high schools. Thank you. So many of our high schools represented here today. Such an honor to have you here celebrating. We also have after-school Hmong language immersion classes at Turner and Greenberg. This summer, get involved in Hmong summer school heritage language program. Don't just take time off in the summer. Come work on your Hmong. Our goals are the same as yours. We want all of our kids to receive a high degree of success in both English and Hmong. We want every one of our kids to develop fluency and biliteracy and biculturalness across 2 languages. And we want them to earn that California seal of biliteracy. We have a booth here. Thank you to my teachers and my students who are volunteering their time today to nourish more people in the lives of enriching their Hmong academic growth. If you have a child in Fresno Unified, come sign up for our new preschool, TK, kindergarten classrooms. And again, on behalf of the Fresno Unified School District, we are so honored to be partners with the Hmong Cultural New Year celebration. Thank you for making us part of your family. Education matters. Thank you for prioritizing and putting it at the forefront. Na zhong zhou chia.
Thank you. 我知道，那种生气啊，他去做领做度，但那古要该说 Christia， 了要 Judge Christia， 古多的 Milwaukee Wisconsin 多，古上海我找到做度 board member， 的陆公号 Hmong Cultural New Year Celebration， 也到叫古多公路那些呢，我知道。我哋呢，他日子就古要啲古係路蒙住出名。เราขอตบตัวกูยังไม่ยาวซื้อเดี๋ยวตัวเกินแต่มีการเจจุดชัวให้ลมห้องเลยเจทอนในชาติลูกชงเท่าหล่อนออพักกูชากูโตมุ่งมองจงไปสิ่งโตใส่กูหล่อว่าเท่าตูปนเนี่ยดูเขาเจ็ดสี่รอยย่อ Circuit Court Judge ย้อนใน Wisconsin วันดาวลูกชีเหอกูสาให้เตียกูมุ่งมองจงแต่ชีขอเจง要顾着到这个到度比较古比较被真的忙，可能要做度能半年没用，天真的忙，也到大一些人头路时候到我做做，节目要录平时天热浪的被内碰不破，那到把天的得做被真的忙天，可可中都被真的忙。Nua tàu ít tu rong thời cho mua tàu bê luôn bê mông rủ tàu trâu luôn địa tế nên hu nó bé thia tàu luôn bé mong là xí mi cả theo bao hay theo mong do lông từ đầu tiên mà mua ít tu rong thời cho do lên đó bé yếu chủ do rong khởi chia mong luôn bé rồi do mong luôn identity lu kinh cử lo tòn tê nó nu tòn tê bé thia khởi bé lu bé mong mù li là ba bé cho sinh dữ thầu cú nia thiết cú chỉ cho cú tua cho tới chờ nó cú chúa yo xa sông sư cú chỉ tàu bao lumika tí kho lumika cú bao chỉ nhiều kho hải tàu bé xì sư ta chỉ cho chỉ yo lumika tới tia tia yo bé lo lum phong hải bé xì sư ta chỉ cú họ chemica tia cú bao hải lumika thì cú hải tê lo lum đó cú mua nia mua chỉ rong wa khoác hea cú lo wa ít tu nên trâu xía khử trâu xía cần thở cú nia cú chỉ khía cú có cú sầu wa ít tu nên hải tàu wa tàu do cái cần thở thia sầu wa tu nên hải tàu wa tàu pin tàu yu chế mu trâu tàu chế cần thở do cái mu cần thở thia muốn cho mình cả sĩ tư tàu chế cần thở nhưng chỉ dùng gì li bé sẽ được bao cho cái cần đó nó qua tàu cho dù bóng kế đế từ dù trên này mong thia cái chạy mong vì lên đó cú bỏ tàu hay tiề lúc xí hở nó chia rồi lúc xí hở rong lọ kia cho lúa thia đế tế hay tiề mong nó do ý trên này mong sư chỉ tổ sinh chỉ hai tổ lào chỉ hai tổ lúa giờ tiền này chỉ bỏ đi cú bỏ nó này cho là xã hay tiề thầu bé mua ít tu chân thành rể bé sinh tàu sai là ô hậu lử tàu bé sinh điết tế chỉ lo lù mong bé sinh yên chỉ tua sinh chỉ ta lên đó do nên mù nông cho tu chân thành rể nó lấy yên yếu hại lên đó thia lấy yên yếu bỏ lên đó thia còn nó khi tàu hay tiề do bé yếu tua mong tu identity lo yo kinh cử khó dùng gì chấp lầu cho bé yếu lo ship ba ship kia chỉ yếu lo ship khó ship hở trong li nó khó ship hở nó chia nó lo kia có bé chấp lại chấp kiến đó do hay tiền mua cầu luôn trong nó chia để bé mua cầu lúc ship hở lo ba kia tàu cho bé cho lúa cho tới chờ cho mong bình đâu trình kiến do hay tiề ít thu tàu thì bé sợ đỡ tàu lợi do bé chế nên mong tàu chú nó cũng sợ chế chú nó cũng chỉ do xài mong ya cũng chỉ do nhà mong thong sư đó là cũng do mong lý à bé sợ đỡ thầu cũng tàu nó bé sợ đỡ tàu ok thầu cũng đó nó bé chế nên mong đó ok chỉ ta lên đó thầu bé sinh sai nên lo wa hậu lử tu nên yếu chủ wa ta hậu lử tàu bé sinh chỉ do wa hậu lử tàu chế nên mong sư do hay tiền này xa này cho phần đầu lộc bí cho company lo nhưng do tây giả lên đó thia do lên đó bé yếu chủ xí lu xí hở nó lo ba xí kia có tận đây nó bé chế nên mong mua bình sử cha trong tua nó tận đây nó cũng yếu hại lu mika nhớ rằng first I want to thank the board members of the Hmong Cultural New Year celebration for inviting me and to all the volunteers who have worked and continue to work tirelessly to make this event possible. Without your contribution, your leadership, and your dedication, this event would not be possible. So thank you. While Hmong New Year celebrations have historically been a time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, both literally and figuratively, for Hmong Americans, it can be a time whereupon we reflect on our community's accomplishments, progress, and changes. So to say it another way, it has become a time for the Hmong community to learn of and see the results of the hard work of so many of us, from the vendors to the attendees, to the growth and development of our children, the Hmong children. Every day, we are redefining what the Hmong community is and what it's capable of doing. Just in 2018 alone, 3 more lawyers of Hmong descent were elevated to the bench, and that is historic. To think that less than 10 years ago, we had no Hmong judges. Additionally, there were 4 newly elected Minnesota House members. And because of that large growth of Hmong elected officials in Minnesota, they were able to form the Asian Pacific Caucus. That is a huge improvement and progress for the Asian community in Minnesota. And we have more and more Hmong Americans returning to Laos and Thailand to give back by providing books and school supplies and teaching Hmong children in those countries. People like Maider Lor and Maider Yang from Wisconsin, just to name a few. No other time in history have we seen such an impact of technology on our lives, and the Hmong community is no exception to this advancement, as witnessed by the many grandmas and grandpas who use cell phones to communicate with their loved ones in Laos and Thailand, witnessed by the many YouTube videos uploaded to YouTube for the enjoyment and education of so many Hmong members. News can travel as quickly as the Wi-Fi available to us. The evolution of the Hmong identity is so abundantly clear, especially during times like Hmong New Year celebrations. From the trending fashions to the quality of the programming, Hmong people have progressed. What all of this highlights for us is that accomplishments, progress, and changes are certain. But how does one prepare for that, especially Hmong Americans? The time-tested and true answer is education, both formal and informal education. Like most of you, I come from a refugee family. As such, a formal education was critical to my success. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. And when your parents also don't know any better, a formal education is the only key. As a refugee child whose first English words were Pepsi, please, it was my formal education that provided me with the knowledge to be able to engage in an intelligent conversation that resulted in my landing of my first professional job, a job that provided me with many opportunities to travel first class to many countries that I could only have dreamed of, to work with my colleagues from countries like Thailand and Australia and Mexico, and to meet my colleagues for the first time from Thailand who didn't know if I was Hmong or another ethnicity, and when they found out that I was Hmong, were astounded that I would work side by side with them, a refugee child from Ban Vinai. It was my formal education that helped me to enter law school, and it was my formal education that enabled me to run a successful campaign for circuit court judge, becoming the first elected without appointment judge of Hmong descent ever in the United States history. While a formal education is important, just as important is an informal education. We can learn so much from one another. After all, the word Hmong has become synonymous with the meaning free people. We are free to learn, we are free to progress, we are free to advance, and we are free to love. Freedom came at a great cost to the Hmong people. Through the Hmong people's perseverance, we can learn not only how to survive, but how to thrive. From the Hmong people's sacrifices, we can learn resourcefulness and ingenuity. These are lessons not taught in the classrooms. These are lessons that we can take at this very time and place, at this very moment. So please seize upon that opportunity. A successful person never ceases to learn, no matter the time or the place. And that is so true of Hmong people. We persevere through generations of persecution, and here we are, as successful as ever. Every day, I learn something new, both from reading law books and from watching and learning of the current events in the world, including in the Hmong community. It is also my belief that I learn the most when I simply stop to listen and consider without judgment. Perhaps, oddly enough, it could be that because I am a judge, that I will reserve judgment until I have heard all of the evidence. I find that when I stop, listen, and consider before I decide, I make better decisions. I encourage everyone to continue to learn because the advancement of the Hmong people depends on it, our livelihood, our success. Our children's future depend on our willingness and ability to learn from one another, both in a formal and informal setting. So again, take this opportunity to learn from one another and to share your wealth and your knowledge. Thank you.